The new food is ready. It's been 1 year of testing and trials, and I finally got the formula perfect. Now, today we're going to talk about this food and we're going to feed it to our fish, but also I'm going to feed my other foods to the fish so you can see the differences as far as maybe how I feed and how you feed my foods. But one thing about this food, it's the first food that I've had with beef heart in it. So I'm going to talk a lot about beef heart and the differences and why my beef heart is a lot different than most of the beef hearts out there. So I want to be very clear that some people might be using the same process I do or something close to get rid of the long chain collagens. Now, I had to go and learn this stuff from a food scientist, from a professional chef, but also to talk to other aquarists to find out what the overall feeling is of beef heart, good and bad. So this is the food, Breed and Grow Complete. I have about 15 of them available right now. I have to freeze dry going full time. It's an amazing food. So we're gonna talk a lot about the ingredients today, but I'm not gonna feed this jar because I need this jar for my inventory. So we're gonna feed it out of this right here. So same product. So this was the final test that worked. And the process is pretty insane. I wanna show you exactly what long chain collagens are. This is what causes all the problems in the discus. Now for a dog or anything eating beef heart, humans, we're not gonna be struggling with this, but you see these long chain collagens, they get stuck in the gut, and that's where all the problems come with beef heart. You know, discus aren't designed to eat cow. That's just not a thing, but it's been used in the industry for over 50, 60 years. There are benefits and it does grow discus big. There's no doubt about it. But these collagen, long chain collagens, they cause havoc and disease on discus. So I talked to somebody who knows how to separate the long chain collagens from the beef heart, and it took us about a month to figure this out. And the problem with a lot of beef heart is it's frozen. There's definitely benefits and negatives. I believe I have removed the negatives. So we're gonna feed out of this jar here. This is the last batch that actually worked. When I started, I was sprinkling it on top in a dust form, and it was working, but it was clouding the tank. So I had to come up with a process to bind it where it was gonna hold together. Now there's different ways to feed this. Okay, let's open this up. I'm gonna feed all my tanks today, guys. So you're gonna see different foods going to different tanks for different fish, and all my foods cross over. Everything crosses over to other species. They're not considered discus food, they're considered high quality fish food. It's just that we keep discus, so the discus need a certain kind of food. But that does not mean that all fish can't eat my foods, and I'm gonna go over that today. So let's try these. My heavy 40-gallon lid, which I hate. So this is the second cube they've ever seen. I gave them a cube yesterday just to test it to make sure it was stable. But they've been eating this since they were born, just in different forms. What's nice about this food is it does stick to the glass. So you see it has that break apart that I am looking for in food because I want these fish to eat, but you'll also see the plecos start to come out and eat. So let's feed another one. So what's nice about this food is you do not have to press hard. And I want to say that the inspiration for this food was the Sheller tab. If you guys know what that food is, I love that food because that's what started this whole process. You know, it's a German-made food, high quality, and it does grow fish well. Okay, let's feed a couple of these cubes. So I feed it mostly like this, just a light press. Does not have to be pressed hard, or you can do just a drop in, okay? So these guys have not been fed this morning because I knew I was making this video, but also I feed them the Daily Delight, the colloidal green. I feed them baby brine shrimp. They get a lot of food. They get about 6 feedings a day. So you can see the food breaking up, and that's exactly what I wanted. It comes down on those perfect clumps. So it reacts perfect. So the Sheller tab is what started all this because I wanted foods that mimic that because it's just the perfect feeding system. The fact that it holds and then slowly breaks apart is exactly how we want to feed these fish because it's the grazing effect, right? These guys are future breeders. They're gonna get the same food because everything in it is amazing. So there's no reason why they can't get it. Now, you heard me say that I don't feed my adults beef heart. I wanna talk about that a little bit. So the beef heart I get is local. It is in Colorado. They're grass-fed, open range. So most cattle are kept in pens, and those pens get high with manure, and they live in that manure. And so the farmer that has these tight pens needs to put antibiotics in their feed. but also hormones because they want them to grow quick, because they do not grow well in these tight quarters. So the beef heart that I got had to be open range cattle. Now I pay a little bit more for it, but they're high quality. And then the long chain collagen removal. So between all that, we get a high quality product that we can feed to these fish. Now the long chain collagen is not going to be a problem for, if you're feeding your dog tree beef heart or something like that. They can digest that no problem. But with these guys' little immune systems and their little digestive tracts, that collagen gets stuck in there, and that's what causes disease. Yes, it grows fish awesome, but we do not want to feed our fish frozen beef heart. By freeze drying it and then going through the sifting process that we go through, the beef heart we use is safe, high protein, excellent food. All right. So these guys have not seen this food yet because I was testing on the little guys. See what they do. Now, one thing about the adults is it'll probably be a little more messy, but it's okay, guys. The messy is the best part because it feeds everything in the tank. See what happens. Just do one cube. Oh, they're kind of hitting it. Let's see if they go after it falling. Perfect. Exactly what I want. I want the small pieces falling off, but I don't want cloud. I don't want cloudy water. So this is exactly what I want. Now, that one cube with these 11, 12 fish is going to probably last them a good 20 minutes. That's what we're after with food. We do not want to throw a pellet in the corner and have a fish fight for it. We want it to disperse through the tank without causing cloudy water. Now, with adults, I would not feed this every single day. I would feed it 3, maybe 4 times a week. Babies, yes, I'm going to feed this every single day with other stuff. The ingredients are top drawer. And if you go to the website and look, it'll explain all the ingredients. The first time they've seen this food, so it's not something they're used to. Just like if you get my bell system, don't expect that bell system to work right away. It's going to take a couple feedings, but by them hitting it already, they can taste the quality, and that's what I'm after. But you see what's happening down here. You got them grazing on the bottom. This guy's in the middle, kind of taking it out of the water. This guy's coming up and he's breaking it up. And they've already pounded that cube, so it's on the bottom. So I will expect them to finish that in about 15, 20 minutes. All right, next tank, we got the juvies. They are probably about 3 to 4 months old. Different strains, got it from different people. Some of them are mine, some of the Heckle Cross, some of the Namunda Cross, some of Myrtle Beach. But these guys are about all the same age, give or take a month. So we're gonna feed these guys the Bell system with the Tube Effects. You get more for your money. And also I'm doing the Grow and Thrive Ultimate Worm Delight. Now, that was designed for auto feeders, but you can use it in the Bell. One thing you're gonna notice is it's a little bit more messy than the Optimal Growth or the Protein Plus, but it is doable inside the Bell. I'm trying to change our thought process on how to feed fish. For years and years, it was put enough food in where they could eat it in 2 to 3 minutes, which is insane to me because fish want to eat all day long. So by doing this, you have the worms on top that block, and they're going to take, a while to eat those. Sometimes they eat them in 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes an hour. It just depends. These guys go at it. But what you want is the other product at the bottom, whether it be the Optimal Growth, the Protein Plus, or the Grow and Thrive, or anything else you want to put in, you want that to start to fall. Now, with the freeze-dried products, it rises. So as they pick on it and it absorbs water, then it goes through the holes and falls. And that's kind of what we want. We want that to come out slow. So the Grow and Thrive has earthworms, and we want that in there because of the great protein content, but that tends to drop out quick. So it's just the same idea, just a different process. So these guys will pick on that for a while. It's fun to watch because you can put it in, kind of grab a chair and sit there, and they'll work on this for as long as it takes to get it clean. Great product. I love it. When I built it, it was one of my first products, and I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not. Now, we've been using these in the hobby for 30 years, but they flipped over and they're on top, and you put bloodworms in there, frozen bloodworms. I do feed them freeze-dried bloodworms. So you see them eating the Tube Effects. They really go after that. I put like 3 or 4 cubes in there, so it's going to take a while. I mean, you can put just 1 cube in there, depending on how many fish you have, but I like to put 3 or 4 because I like to do this and be able to leave and know they're getting a full meal. The bell system, pretty amazing. We have the Altum Flora Myrtle Beach, and then my strain in the Mundo Red Turquoise Cross. Now this is the tank that had the cross contamination. The fourth experiment I've done with treating diseases with my erythromycin salt mixture. I've used it 2 more times in other tanks for different reasons, and I'll explain those when that video comes out, and which will be in a couple of weeks. But what I'm finding with the erythromycin and salt mix is the erythromycin it takes care of most of gram positive. I think the salt is taking care of the gram negative. Now, the erythromycin does handle some gram negative, but mostly gram positive. So I think the combination is getting more a broad treatment. So I'm pretty excited about it. Now, I can't say 100% it's actually, gonna work every time, but I'm pretty excited. If I have an issue, I'd go to that very first now, and it just works over and over again. So we're gonna keep going with that, and then hopefully in a couple of weeks I can come out with the video and you guys can help me with this, see if this is actually working or not. So far, I'm at 100% with the latest treatment I've been using, but we need more work done on it. I'm gonna feed these guys some black worms. I'm trying to get them to fatten up because these are all really good fish. All right, so this is kind of just my future breeders, 7th generation angelfish, and my Lake Antisha bozemanii, which are one of my favorite. They're starting to color up finally. It takes a long time for it to grow out, so I got 3 trios. And then I have these blue acara that were not very good. So the electric blue acara, so I hope that we can get those healthy. And those are the other ones I use erythromycin and salt on. And they weren't eating, and they were doing the white poop thing. And so far they're clear. There's a good sized male in here, but I'm just hoping there's a male and a female so I can breed them. But if they're not high quality, I won't breed them. This is my jar of all the testing I've done with Daily Delight and the Koala Green over years. And I just put it in this jar. I got 1 more of these, and these were just the fails. Not the quality of the food, but the size of the cubes and everything. It just didn't work out right. We can feed these to these fish here. They're originally meant to be put on the glass, and you can do that with the cubes now that I sell. But with these, we couldn't do that. And that's where these were kind of going wrong, is it just wasn't performing how I liked. But that mistake or that problem actually solved another problem. Because when I feed these fish, the bozemanii aren't gonna go to the glass and eat off of it. They like to eat off the top. So by doing that, take the Daily Delight and we just crush it as small as we can. And that way, everyone gets a little bit of food. And then I'll take the Koala Green, which I feed to my Discus. Great food, excellent nutrition, a lot of vitamins in this stuff. And then I just kind of crush it up. Learning how your fish feed, basically, we take our food and we feed it accordingly. So by crushing into small pieces, they're gonna eat for a couple hours. This is the red spotted green that was in that 90 on the last video. Doing good, but then I came in the next morning and it was getting the crap kicked out of it. She went into her own 20, and this is the 3rd one I've done the erythromycin salt treatment on. Now I'm gonna come up with the dosages for you guys and we're gonna test it out. But it's not the same as just regular dosages because I had to figure out how to get enough erythromycin in there, but also not too much salt, and then back and forth. So I think I've got it figured out pretty good, but still needs some testing. So she's been in here about 4 days. So today she'll get her water change out. But you see she's swimming. She had a black room cube in here earlier and it's gone. So that's great. It's a great sign that she is eating and she's responsive. She's at the front. She's kind of looking around. Her eyes are clear. It's the first time I've seen her fins open like that in about 2 weeks. So she was definitely having some issues. So I don't want to call it the magic cure because that would be irresponsible, but it just seems to be pulling out everything every time. Now I'm sure there's going to be stuff that it's not going to work on. But if I see any issues going on with the fish, that's going to be my go-to. Air, heat, salt, erythromycin. It just, that combination for some reason pulls everything out. So she's doing great, and this is huge. She's a beautiful fish, she really is. Great colors. Now her size, because she's been beat up a little bit, she doesn't have the greatest size as far as her eye to body ratio, but so she's probably got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is acceptable. Just because a fish stunts out doesn't mean it's ruined as far as a breeder. Now, we like to breed big, healthy fish. But, so hopefully she can be turned around and she can put a little size on. She's gonna stay in this tank for another month, because I'm gonna treat her as far as a quarantine and really feed her up and see if I can get her healthy. So over here are the month-old turquoise cross with the Heckle blue cross, and they're gonna get some more of the breed and grow. See how they do on this. So they've been getting this in the powder form for a while. And they also get baby brine shrimp, so you can see the big piece drop there, and they're still eating it up here. Lots of air, they're in warm water, 88-degree water, and they're growing good. So they haven't ever seen the cubes. That's why they're kind of missing out. This guy up here is really going at it, but they're at the bottom now eating it. So that's exactly what I want to see. So if you would like to donate on the website, $10 up to however much you want, it's on the website. And that allows me to really work on these projects as far as the foods, the medicines, trying to come up with new medications and treatments for fish, because what I'm finding is a lot of the metronidazole, it's just not working like it used to. And we want to get something where we can be effective when something comes up with these expensive fish. These are the beautiful rams and the turquoise rainbows that are kind of just holding a spot in there. So we're gonna go with these rams and see if they're gonna even touch this breed and grow, because I want these guys spawning soon. We're gonna put in half a cube here, and you can see these cubes are easy to break. They break real easy, but they hold their shape, which is awesome. And then we're gonna feed this one over here, because there's 2 pairs in here, and they are pairing off and holding territory on each end. Is exactly what I want. So you see that one just ate. Oh, there goes a little bit turquoise going after it. Perfect. So I'm really happy with this food. I think it's amazing, amazing food. Give it a try and let me know what you think. You know, I can love it all day long, but if you guys don't like it, it's not worth anything. But I will keep feeding this food in my fish room for as long as I have fish, because the ingredients are insane. The fish all attack it. First time they go after it. So the rams, I have not been feeding the powder version. So this is the first time they've seen it, and they're eating it no problem. And these guys over here that's falling down. Now, it helps if they can knock it down, but eventually it's gonna break down and fall. So they're gonna get food for a little bit longer. All right, so now the breeders. We're gonna try the breed and grow on these guys. These breeders here have been producing a lot. Their fry from the last batch did get this, but in the powder form. So they have not seen the cube. And she's on eggs right now. So they just laid eggs tonight. This pair I'm not too confident on, but it's okay, because it got another breeding set over here that are probably gonna get switched out. So that'd be a great pair, but they are not pairing up. They're not showing really any interest in each other. Might be 2 females. I'm almost positive that's a male, but I'm not sure what's going on. You know, they're just not compatible. That's something that happens. We're gonna try to breed and grow with these guys and see what happens. One thing about this food is it smells really good. So I think as soon as it hits the water, they can smell it. And now we're gonna try the breeding pair on egg and see what happens. Now he might attack me. So I love that we can just stick it to the glass. So that's one thing I've been really focused on, is it sticking to the glass. This food is gonna stick to their slime coat, and these babies are gonna grow insanely big quick. It's a micro food that's held together with freeze-dried and binders. That's the point right here. Now you see this male over here. It's a big old male. See how that food is kind of shooting through the column? Now, when they get that heavy slime coat, that food is gonna stick all over them, and those babies are just gonna be growing like crazy. The powdered version worked well, but it kind of went all over the tank. So not really polluting the tank, because everything's solid ingredients, but you see the adult feeding on this cube, and it's shooting around, and as that slime coat thickens, it's gonna actually be a food source for those babies. That was the real point of this food. That's something that does not exist. And I just feel like it's something that needs to exist. So this whole video, you come to the end. The people that are hardcore and want to learn about why these fish breed the way they do and why they take care of their babies the way they do, why they're unlike any other fish in the hobby, this food is geared to this. I can't wait until the next set of fry come and to watch this food feed those fry, feed the parents, and do what it's meant to do. All right, guys, that is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I put a lot of time and effort into this one. I really did. I put everything I had into it. And I want these videos to get better and better. I really love this hobby. It is amazing. It's something that I've done most of my life and I will do for the rest of my life just because I love it so much. So just the fact that I can contribute to the hobby is just mind blowing to me. And the fact that you're buying my products and trying them, but I'm not just making products to make products. I'm making products to make a difference. I really appreciate you watching. Take care. And the next one's in the queue. All right, bye.